Welcome to my channel. I am Anita Goa. Here is an updated version of a headstand tutorial that I shared many years ago on this channel. It's been very helpful to a lot of yogis around the world, but since then I have picked up a few other things that I did want to share with you, and that's what I'm doing with this video. That's the beauty of yoga, right? We learn, we grow, we evolve as we go along. So let's go, let's turn ourselves upside down on the mat. Let me know in the comments how this felt for you, and I'll see you there. Happy practice. Please make sure that you take care of yourself in the process, that you don't rush this, and also recognize that you might come to a point where you feel like it's not really your position, it's not really something that you like to practice or would want to practice. That's completely okay. A lot of the yoga journey is recognizing what doesn't serve us, what doesn't feel right for us. And there are many other inversions that you could do that could serve you even better. So please practice satya, being honest with yourself when it comes to this. Contraindications also, so I've listed that here on the screen. Make sure that you take a look at them, and that goes along with it might not be appropriate for you to practice headstand. Along with that, I think there are three different points that we need to remember and pay attention to. Number one, there is a huge fear factor involved in turning ourselves upside down. Our nervous system isn't used to having the head on the ground and the feet in the clouds, so to speak. So we need to give ourselves time. We need to give the nervous system some time to gradually adjust to that position. So please don't rush it. Secondly, make sure that you secure yourself on the floor. So really practice with where you position your head on the floor, how you position your arms, feeling yourself engaging through the core. Now, there's not a whole lot of core strength involved. There's some core integration involved, and there's some arm strength involved, but it's not a tremendous amount. What is the key though is the third point, and that is how you stack your body. So really getting the pelvis over the head and then the feet over the pelvis and the head. That's what becomes the crucial point. And I think that the first technique that I'll share with you will be very helpful in you sort of feeling that and also feeling secure as you practice. But first, let me show you the foundation. Now, I have a carpet here. I have 2 yoga mats. It's quite cushy. So I don't personally need anything more than that to feel okay on my head. But if you were just on the wood floor and you just had your yoga mat, you could fold the yoga mat, and that would give you some padding. You could also take a blanket. So this is a tightly knit weaved blanket. You could put that on your yoga mat. Make sure that you tidy it up so you don't want any creases on it, and then fold the yoga mat over it, because you want to make sure that you have a surface that is secure. You don't want anything that is slippery, but make sure you have something with a grip on it. Okay, so secure yourself there. Then secondly, interlacing your fingers, so working with how the arms should be, and you place your hands behind your head. Now, it's not towards the top of your head, not towards your neck, but somewhere in the middle. So holding lightly so that you feel your head is secured. You draw the elbows in a bit, and the elbows might not be completely elbow distance or shoulder distance apart. If you grab a hold of your elbows, they might be a little bit wider. I sort of tend to think like 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. As you press your head against your hands, you'll feel your head over your shoulders and your shoulders over your pelvis. Now drawing in through your core so that your core is supported, wrapping your shoulder blades a little bit into your armpits so that you feel that there's space between your ears and your shoulders, also very important. Now this is easy to do when we're the right side up. When we turn ourselves upside down, we tend to round in and the shoulders creep more and more up towards the ears and we're all crunched in. So that's what we have to try to avoid doing the best that we can. Now it takes a bit of hamstring length and some back flexibility in order for this to happen, but what I'm going to share with you against the wall is going to make it super simple. Now, where should you be at the crown of your head? That is a big question. So it is, yes, at the top of your head, but for each of us, you know, that might be at a different spot. So you have to explore and experiment where that is. But one technique that I learned a long time ago, which I think is fairly accurate, you can give it a go. Give it a go. Take your ring finger and your thumb, and if you place your ring finger at your third eye, right in between the eyebrows, and you stretch your thumb towards the crown of your head, approximately where your thumb is at might be where you're going to rest the crown of your head on the floor. So if that gives you that natural curvature of your neck and you feel okay in that position, then maybe that is where it's at for you. So practice and notice. All right, so now I am going to show you the first variation to support you. So we're going to use the wall. We're going to measure by keeping the feet on the wall and extending the legs. And now where your pelvis is at is where your head is going to go. For everyone is going to be different. So whether you have long legs or short legs, long torso or short torso, that is going to come into play here. But if you turn yourself around where your bum was at, you place your head and secure your head with your hand and your arm position like I showed you. Try to find that position towards the crown of your head. Press down into the forearms, lifting your shoulders up and away from your ears, wrapping the shoulder blades into your armpits. Draw up into your core, lift your hips, and then walk the feet up the wall until you come to a place where your pelvis is over your shoulders. Wasn't that quite easy? Then you can hang out here, explore how this position feels. And then maybe you want to lift one leg and get used to how this feels. Now, the leg is going to be more further in front of the body compared to what it will eventually. But this is, remember, just the practice, just the test, and then try the second leg. And then once you start to feel comfortable here, then maybe naturally you start to feel, yeah, because the pelvis is stacked over the shoulders, I'm drawing in through my core, I'm starting to feel this. The leg will start to gradually come off of the wall. And then maybe you can bend that leg in, and maybe you'll hang out here for a while. And then you try to do the same thing on the second side. And once you're used to being here, then perhaps you can gradually start to straighten out the leg. Now, you have to start to feel the crown of your head. And as your legs extend, feel that distance between the ground and your feet. And then lower. When you come out of it, make sure that you rest into a child's pose for a good minute or so, and then maybe press your hands against your head against your hands. just to reset yourself. All right, how did that feel? So that's a fun little technique to practice. Then we can, of course, also use the wall. So making sure that you're not completely against the wall, but you're a little bit further away from it, but you know that you have the wall there to support you. So you find the same grounding position, set yourself up, curl the toes under, and now you're going to have to walk your feet forward, lifting your hips and coming into that position where the hips are over your head. And then maybe extend one leg. And as you extend that leg, drawing up into your abs, and naturally that second leg will start to come off. And maybe you want to bend the leg. And you can also practice here, coming into that egg position. Just getting used to being in that egg position. This is a wonderful way of practicing stacking. And then maybe you can gradually extend one leg at a time. So you just almost pretend like you don't have the wall there and that you're practicing in the middle of the room. But being that you have the wall, you can here start to adjust yourself and feel your alignment and feel your position. You know, in a different way than what we did in the previous suggestion. So you might notice now that my body is a little bit more stacked compared to what it was in number 1. Again, rest into child's pose. And then maybe place your hands behind your head and press your head back just to resettle. Okay? So you see those different positions, how great they are as a way of practicing. And then you might feel like, I'm at a point where I feel strong. I don't feel so scared, but I'd like to practice in the middle of the room on the mat. Let me go there. And then this is what you can try to do. So you set yourself up exactly in the same way, but you know that you don't have the wall to support you. So here you have to really just trust yourself and really take it step by step. Only go as far as what you can support in this moment. So set yourself up, curl the toes under, walk the feet forward, getting the hips up, right? And the further up you get your hips, so you can see if you can maybe keep one leg bent like this, and as you root down into your forearms, you draw up into the core, that second leg becomes very light. And then once you're here, then you can also continue to keep drawing your navel in, setting your sitting bones to the ceiling, and maybe find that egg position. And maybe this is where you hang out for some time. And then slowly you try to extend one leg at a time. And maybe you just extend one leg. And then you gradually come back into the egg position. And then you extend the second leg. And that might be practicing this for a few months. And then maybe both of the legs. All right. Now, each of those different positions, you have to take it slowly and almost feel from the ground, feel yourself extending, drawing in, gradually extending, staying with your breath, and then slowly, gradually drawing back in. Because when we're in this right side up, we don't have to think about it or pay attention to it in that way. Our nervous system is just so used to it. but when you turn yourself upside down, you have to take it really slowly. And you'll notice when you lower the leg back down, requires a different strength than when you extend the leg up. Okay, so keep that in mind too. Sometimes moving out of it can sometimes become a little bit more challenging and take a little bit extra attention. All right, so I hope that this was helpful. Please let me know and share with me a video if you want to. I can give you some pointers that way, and it will also be a good way for you to see what it is that you do, like sort of see your body in space. All right, thank you so much. Happy practice.